YouTube world, what's crack-a-lackin'? I'm Layuma Gawana, and today we're going to be discussing total physical response, or TPR. Now, as some of you may already know, this is a language teaching methodology that was invented by Dr. James Asher. And what it does is it's essentially a hybrid of verbal commands, right, or words, which are mostly verbs, and you combine that with some kind of physical gesture or act. And this helps the students internalize what that word means, right? And it works. It's actually amazing. So it is also a precursor to teaching proficiency through reading and storytelling, or TPRS. So I will do a separate video on that, but for now I want to discuss the foundation of that, which is TPR. So usually the first day of class, before the students even arrive, I will have certain objects within the classroom labeled. For example, window, door, ceiling, floor, bathroom, if it's inside your classroom, chair. In my case, it's deskless, so but I do have a table, so I'll do table, chair, etc. Right? You can use an index card, such as this. You would write the L2, or the target language, first, and then in a different color, if possible, you would write their native language, or L1. All right. So in this case, door, puerta. I usually make a physical gesture, like I'm turning a knob and opening the door, right, and then closing it. Like, it's kind of improv. And I would highly suggest, if it's possible within your city, if they offer an improv class, to take one, just a level 1 class. It'll kind of help with, especially when you get to the TPRS aspect, when you start to kind of create stories in real time, and also helps you kind of mime things. Anyways, it helped me a lot. So you do this, Sharpies, doesn't matter what color, as long as they're different colors. And what else? And so you go around the room to each item or thing. Window, you walk over to the window, you have them repeat after you. Chair, you might want to pick it up, give it a little slam on the floor. Chair. Floor, you might want to, bend over, touch it. Floor. Ceiling, etc. And then once you see that they are comfortable with where these things are and what they mean, then you move on to the other half. What I do is I will assign 2 volunteers. I'll take a chair for myself, and then I'll assign 2 volunteers. They bring their chairs up and they sit on either side of me. And then what I do is I will demonstrate stand, sit. You don't have to. You could just do it in real time. You could be like, you look at them and you'd be like, stand. If you're already sitting, of course, you would stand and then you rise. And then you give a pause, let them assimilate that, and you say, okay, sit. And then you would sit. Stand again. Walk. And you just start walking. Walk. Now, usually the setup of my classroom, just to give you an idea, to give you kind of space to walk, is it's usually like a horseshoe parameter. And there's enough space where you can kind of take a few steps. If not, you just kind of part the sea like Moses, and you just, you actually walk the whole length of the room. Stop. Para. Stop. You stomp your feet. Stop. Turn around. Class, what's turn around? Right? And you ask. You make sure that you interact with them as much as possible. And you change out your students, right? So you don't really keep torturing the same 2. You assign another pair of volunteers, and you do it again. And so they're observing, obviously, and so you don't have to start from square one. You can start incorporating different things. Not too many things, but for example, walk fast, and then you start walking fast. Walk fast, right? And then, or you stop. Say walk slow. Have you ever seen that scene in Pet Detective where Jim Carrey reenacts some football play, and he's like, ooh, like that, really, like, however comical, however animated you can make it, it's that much more entertaining and fun for your students while they're learning at the same time, of course. And so you do this a couple of times, And then at that point, you say to them, okay, you explain to them in their native language. You say, listen, I'm going to give you a command. And I want you to do whatever I say. So the verbal command overrides anything that I might do physically. For example, let's just say that you have two students on either side of you, and you guys are all standing, right? You guys are standing. So you look at them and you say, walk, and then you physically sit. So if one of them sits, you're like, aha, I got you, you know? It's not to embarrass them or anything like that. It is more to see if they are listening and if they are comprehending what you are saying. So ultimately, you want to get to the point where you are merely just giving them verbal commands. So for example, walk to the door. Walk to the door. And they would walk to the door and they stop and they turn around, they look at you and you're like, okay, great, good job, excellent. Walk to the window. Let's just say the window's on the opposite side of the room. As they're walking, you go, walk fast, walk fast, walk fast, you know, and then they scurry, you know, and then people laugh and you make it as fun as you can. And then, and so fine, and so they get to the window and then you say, okay, walk to the bathroom. You say, walk slow, or walk sexy, you know, I just make it fun, right? Also age appropriate, you don't want to say that to 9-year-olds, of course. Once you get ready for the storytelling aspect of it, you're going to start to see how TPR comes into play. For example, the first story that I usually do with my class is called Joey Wants a Pet. Joey wants a pet. And so the verbs want, go, and buy, you co-create with them. You ask them, you're like, oh, you know, how can we express the word want physically? You know, you ask in their native language, how can we express the word want physically? And some verbs are actually quite universal. For this one, it's usually this or this. So this or this. And so you are excellent. And so you want to keep track of that. And then I'll get into more detail in the other video on TPRS. But just to give you an idea that, you know, want, right? Buy is sometimes this. Go is, for the most part, this. Go. And so that really anchors their memory. So sporadically you might ask, show me once. Show me once. Show me go. And everybody, okay, show me buy. You know, show me buy, right? Another thing that I usually do the first day is I use a PowerPoint slide presentation and I'll show an image of somebody just completely bundled up, right? And they're just like standing in snow. And then on the top, I'll put, it's cold, or hace frío, again, in 2 different colors, right? L1, L2, you want to contrast that for them. And you would say, it's cold, class. Oh, it's cold, and you have to everybody do this. Some people might feel silly at first, but you're not. I mean, it's to learn. It's to help them remember. So you go, class, show me cold, and then everybody is like shivering. And then the next image will be somebody just like sweating profusely, like the sun just like beaming down on them. You go, class, show me hot. Class, it's hot. August, hot, right? What else? So hot, cold, and then windy, right? So you have an image of maybe just, you know, somebody's hair blowing in the trees, like this, right? Class, show me windy. Shh. Show me windy. Shh. What else? Rain is another one. I have this really beautiful image of a little girl just like holding an umbrella and like looking up and like smiling at the sky and just like raining. Be like, class, show me rain. Sometimes they'll do this, and then sometimes they'll do that. And so just these gestures really help them anchor the meaning of the words, whether it's a phrase like that, it's raining, or if it's something solid like an object, or if it's a command like walk. It truly, truly works. Take time. Move at a snail pace. Have empathy for your students, that these are words that don't mean anything to them when they hear it the first time. You are helping their brains and the neurons in their brains connect meaning to what these words are using physical gestures. It is a wonderful, wonderful methodology to use, and it's fun. It can be fun if you help make it so. So on that note, I don't want to go over too long. I will work on the TPRS video next and show you the bridge between those two methodologies. Okay? Until next time, take care. Bye.